I want to provide two lines of reasoning that support the claim that human depravity accurately describes humanity. This evidence will also serve to counter our culture's belief that mankind is basically morally good. One is that the Bible clearly says that mankind is inherently corrupt and sinful because of the fall of man recounted in Genesis 3. And two, history bears witness that mankind is selfish, violent, and corrupt by nature. Let me deal with the second reason first. History is littered with accounts of mankind's disregard for human life. Until the last couple hundred years, slavery was the norm globally. Some places still practice slavery. Likewise, history is littered with the accounts of mankind's wars and murderous conquests. Many millions of people have been killed over political and religious issues throughout the ages, and the 20th century was the deadliest in all of history. With the rise of communism and other atheistic political philosophies, the world saw 100+ million people killed in the 20th century by leaders such as Mao, Stalin, Pol Pot, and others. Adolf Hitler murdered 15 million Jews, Gypsies, and other people he disliked. You say, yeah, but that's Hitler. He was evil. Yes. But a great many Germans either supported the extermination of the Jews or turned a blind eye to it for various reasons. There is the famous post-war video of the townspeople from nearby Auschwitz touring the concentration camp and witnessing what had happened right under their noses. For years, they turned a blind eye to the atrocities committed against their fellow man. Some would argue, if I had lived back then, I wouldn't have done that. I would have spoken up. Here's my question. What makes you think that you would have been among the few who spoke out against these things? You don't know what you would have done. And to adamantly proclaim such things may be as much of an act of arrogance as anything else. But it wasn't just the 20th century, and it wasn't just atheistic worldviews that led to murder and warfare. The history of mankind is the story of warfare and violence. The 17th century philosopher Thomas Hobbes famously noted that the life of man is solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. Until recently, many of us took the safety structures of law and order present in our society for granted. These restrain some of the worst human behaviors from bringing instability and harm to our daily lives. Today we live in relative peace compared to many people of history, and even compared to those in other parts of the world. In the West, we have willingly submitted ourselves to a social contract of law and order so that we can enjoy relative peace. The fact that civil and criminal laws are necessary for peace and flourishing testifies to mankind's sinful and corrupt human nature. The fact that we lock our doors and hide our valuables indicate that we know that mankind is immoral by nature. Laws protect us from the selfish and corrupt nature of others, and they protect others from us. The long history of legal codes in societies testifies not to mankind's inherent goodness, but to our inherent immorality. If mankind is basically good by nature, there would be no need to institute even basic laws, because we would naturally do what is right. Thus, history testifies to human depravity. Yet so too does the witness of the Bible. Romans 3:10, ESV, quotes the Old Testament saying, "As it is written, none is righteous, no, not one. Trust and follow your heart," the world tells us. Yet the Bible says in Jeremiah 17:9, ESV, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Who can understand it?" Even after Jesus performed his first miracles and heard that some people believed in him and talked about him, John 2:24-25 says that Jesus wouldn't entrust himself to man because he knew what was in man. The consistent testimony of the scriptures is not that we are inherently good, but inherently depraved because of our choice to sin. Human moral corruption is why you engage in seemingly innocuous activities like driving faster than the speed limit when you don't think that you will get caught. It's why you speed simply because you think that your schedule is more important than obeying the law or public safety. Human depravity is why you sometimes consider the act of breaking such laws insignificant. Human moral corruption is also why you say things to others that you later regret because in the moment, your pride or your emotional satisfaction is more important than the well-being of someone else. Even our good deeds are rarely performed simply because doing good is right. We often do something good for others because we gain something in return. Just as a bottle of contaminated water contains water, it also contains impurities that corrupt the whole bottle. Humanity exists in a similar way. The inherent corruption of the human heart is also the source of greed, hatred, and even racism. Sin.